Yep, the fireworks have started. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to finish up on my favorites for this year, and I was in the middle of doing brushes. So where was I? So we were talking about eye brushes, and we had just talked about the 5 absolute you must-haves, and so the 2 that I would add to the list. Oh. There, let me get that out of the way, Velvet. There you go. You know what's wrong? The New Year's person's winnings were in the way. Velvet, come here. Come here. Oh, both babies just came running into me. They're scared of the fireworks in the background. We're not going to be gone long. Anyway, so we have some friends that we're going to go see, but just for an hour. I really don't like to drive on New Year's Eve. But anyway, so I had showed y'all the ones that I would say you cannot live without. I'm going to go through them one more time. A short shader, a fluffy. That's for highlight up here and then all over with a color if you want to. Then for transition, a fluffy. Then for the crease, a small taper or crease brush. But I like small taper. I'm showing you what I like. And a short shader, which is a smudger brush. Those are absolute must-haves. I would say beyond these 4, because you can also even do your brow with that, so you don't necessarily need one of these, but I would always have one of these as well, and that's just a angled brow brush. So, but you could use your short shader for that, so it's not a must-have. Blending, I do think it's important to have a blending brush, so I did show you that this tapered blending brush. And you could just use a medium angled brush, which looks like a little baby blush brush. So either one of these to blend. Okay, after that, after these 4 absolute must-haves, a shader brush, a short shader brush, a tapered brush for the crease, and a fluffy brush for the transition. I would also say it is good to have a large shader, or I call it a flat shader. See how it's large that way, but when you turn it this way, it's skinny. That's because it's really good for patting on like what you would do with your finger, just because it just like sparkly colors on your lid, which is all I would use this for, is sparkly colors on your lid. I would say it's a must-have, because who doesn't want to do sparkly colors on your lid every once in a while? So that's what makes it a must-have. Background must-have. You don't always have to do sparkly, so the other ones were, but I'd have a flat shader for that. And then also to go underneath, instead of just a smudger, I can take my smudger brush, and instead of using it almost like a liner, I can turn it a little, make it wider, and go a little more, but it is easier. It's much easier to have a pencil brush. And it's also easier to have a pencil brush to do an outer V, so that when you go underneath here with like a light brown or whatever it is, and then you come on top of that closer to the line with the black, or maybe just this outer area with the black, this pencil brush really does spread that color down there better. And it also does this area right here, and then right there, that little V, it just blends it better. Matter of fact, I think I just blended with that, and it does. I would say that these 2, while I act like they are not absolutes, they really kind of are. They really are. You could use these or your finger to do what these 2 can do, but it's just, if you're going to get a brush set, this would be the brush set I would say. If you're saying, Beth, what are they? Okay, go to Sigma Beauty and get yourself an E20 short shader. Get yourself a E30 pencil brush. Get yourself a E60 large flat shader. Get yourself a E50 large fluffy. Get yourself an E55 shader. And get yourself an E45 small tapered blending, which is really my crease brush. Other people use crease blushes. What did I do with one? If that set came with one. Here's one. I mean, here's the difference. This is a little wider and more dense than this. This is more tapered, and I just feel like it does, it's a minute difference. But I feel like the small tapered blending brush, E45 from Sigma, this one, I feel like it does a better job than just a regular crease brush. So those are the ones I would say are absolute must-haves to do your eyes. Now, to do your face. I already showed y'all, hands down, if you're going Sigma, you could go ahead and get the F80 Flathead Kabuki. But my favorite foundation brush is the Velvet Luxe 301 Buffing Foundation Brush. It's a flathead. It's super luxurious. It is more expensive. Best ever for putting your foundation on. Then, of course, you need a blush brush. I do like my Chanel one. This is my Chanel No. 4 blush brush. Just because the shape of it is a little different, that you can just get that really good. You could even use it back here for bronzer, and you could even use the edge of it and cut in with it. So I love that. But if you're staying Sigma, I would go ahead and get the large angled contour brush, and it's a no-brainer to have a blush brush, you know? Just is. I love it. It's also a no-brainer to have a powder brush, but to be honest with you, I don't use a lot of powder. Now, when you're younger, you might. I feel like that's adding a lot, but just a good fluffy powder brush, I guess, is good. It's just good to have one. This is the It one, and you know, just to dab on or flick things off or whatever with it. It is good to have some kind of a powder brush. To me, it would be better to have the small duo fiber F55 from Sigma. It's duo fiber. And like, say you have fallout on your nose, it's just really good at flicking off any excess. Or if you wanted to dust this around in a finishing powder and just, you know, just barely twirl it around, or, you know, go into a certain area. It's just, it's light. That's what I really love about this. So for a face brush, I'd say this is better than a powder brush. And if you want to go the extra and get a bronzing brush and just really use it, I guess you could. I don't know that you really need to, but I guess you could. Get the small bronzing or small contour brush. Actually, this Sigma has one, but this is a Morphe M437. Where he wants to roll the ball. But the Sigma one's just like that. So it's a small contour brush, and they also have the big one, but I don't really use it that much. I hope I didn't just deposit some product, because I just did that. Just showing you, and there's no telling how it really turned out. Okay. I think I also didn't put on any under eye concealer today, and I think I probably should. So while I'm talking to y'all, I'm going to use my little one that I told y'all I can't live without. And that is my Rimmel Match Perfection 230 Fair Light. And I put it on the finger just like that. I think I noticed earlier that I didn't. And so I may even have makeup that's kind of gone downward. So I'm going to keep this really low. Normally I'd come up a little. And I'm going to go right past the eye, as you can see. And then I'm going to come down past the nose. This way and this way. Get the crust of the nose and then go out. It gets this big wrinkle right there. Just fill it in. And same thing there. But make sure you blend it out good. Right there and right there. And just make sure you kind of blend that out and down. Out. And you can come up and get the inner corner. I'm doing this without really seeing, because I don't really have a mirror close enough to me to see what I'm doing. So there's no telling what this is going to look like. And then last but not least, I'm going to go upward with it. I have no idea how this looks. Anyway, so I've showed you brushes, eyes, eye palettes, face palettes. I wouldn't say there's a makeup pouch that I would say is hands down my favorite makeup pouch. But usually just a medium-sized one like this is good. Something sparkly is what I like. I also like my, another medium-sized one is my Charlotte Tilbury. Maybe this is the one hands down that I would say I absolutely love, because it's got a little kissies on it. It just looks really classy. She's actually got a even classier one made of solid red burgundy leather, and I like this one better. I guess it's just fun because you can see what's in it. I like the shape of it and the size of it. But I also got the It Cosmetics brushes that did not come in that silver cup, that came in that kind of pink champagne color. This brush set, I really did like that one too. But I don't know where it is. It may be in the purse somewhere. I don't know where it is. I have an abundance of these just because, you know, of Etsy. I get so many. Yeah, this is an Etsy one. I get them all the time. Oh, look at stuff in there I totally forgot about. Anything I'd want to show y'all? Oh, blush. Hands down. Is this the blush? No, it isn't. It's Tissé Gabrielle, even though this is a very good palette. The number 2 Rose Bronze Blush by Chanel is my favorite. This is a really good one, y'all. I might put that on the list. That's what was in there. He wants me to kick the ball. That is just beautiful because that is so shimmery, y'all. I think I'll touch up my makeup right now since we're fixing to go out for just a little while for New Year's. I'm just going to put that because it's shimmery. And I'll put some on my lid so it kind of looks a little more festive to have something shimmery. Doesn't it? Now I'm going to show you the difference of using even a sponge applicator and just your finger. Look how much that woke that up just to use your finger versus a brush or a sponge applicator. A sponge applicator is very concentrated as well. But you can do a lot more targeted with a sponge applicator point to get like your inner corner and to get right under that brow line. There you go. And now how I look like I'm ready to go out now. Just from using that one color. And if I wanted to, I could darken up the edges real good with one of these colors. Why don't I? Why don't I just do that right in front of you? I think I will. I think I'll use kind of goldy. I mean, not goldy, this kind of, let's see what it is. I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's kind of purpley. That's really pretty. And let's just go in the crease with it just a little. Just to kind of wake it up. Oh, look how that just kind of wakes it up. It looks pretty. So anyway, I hope you'll have a happy new year. These are all the billions of videos I just made to show you all my favorites in 17. And that will probably go forward in 18. And I love you guys.